Hey guys, DJ Puppet here, and welcome to what I guess is my first actual video on this channel. So, unlike last time, where you got to hear me ramble about some random channel stuff, this time you get to hear me ramble about Pokemon stuff. So, hooray. So, as most of you probably know, the first two episodes of the Pokemon Sun and Moon anime aired today in Japan, and I said I was going to make a review about them, and I still am going to do that, but I'm going to delay it just a little bit because some stuff came up, and there's a particular piece of news that I actually wanted to talk about that also came out today. So, earlier today, on Pokemon's official YouTube channel, they released a trailer for the dub of movie 19, Volcanion and the Mechanical Marvel. And they also said that after that is aired, they're going to show a sneak peek of the dub of the Pokemon Sun and Moon anime. And that's going to be happening on December 5th. And that's really cool and all, but what makes this really interesting is that it's not going to be airing on Cartoon Network in the US like it normally is, but it's going to be airing on Disney XD. So, my initial reaction to hearing this news, I didn't believe it, because for most of my life, Cartoon Network has been the Pokemon Network. I mean, originally Pokemon aired on Kids WB, but I was never really a Kids WB kid. So I believe it was around 2002 when Cartoon Network picked it up, and it started airing on there. And that was really my first exposure to the actual series. And it continued to air on Kids WB for a while until that kind of fizzled out of existence. And so Cartoon Network for the longest time was just where you could watch Pokemon regularly, especially since Kids WB was actually, I don't know. Now, in the past, I know that Disney XD, or I guess as it was formerly known, Toon Disney, they got to air some of the Pokemon movies. I believe it was movies 4 through 7, like due to some distribution deal with Miramax. I guess Disney had some kind of partnership with them. But other than that, yeah, Cartoon Network, that was the only place to watch Pokemon. But now it seems like that's not going to be the case. It looks like it's completely moving over to Disney XD. And that's really interesting because XY, their dub, it's in the middle of the Team Flare arc right now. And unless Cartoon Network decides to just marathon the rest of the episodes, uh, that's not going to be done before December 5th. So it looks like for a brief while, there's going to be the new Pokemon movie and the sneak peek will be airing on Disney XD while the dub is still going on Cartoon Network. So I think that's really interesting to think about. So, what exactly does this mean for the series? Is this a good thing? Is it a bad thing? What does it mean? That it's completely changing networks. Well, I think, if anything, this is probably going to be a good thing. I mean, we're at a period in time where Disney has had multiple successes by buying out other properties and turning them into hits. I mean, for example, a few years ago, Disney bought out Marvel, and that was around the time when their whole cinematic universe was kind of in the works. And obviously, it's pretty clear how successful that's become, like almost a decade later. Then, of course, more recently, Disney bought out Lucasfilm. And just last year, The Force Awakens come out, and everybody loved that movie. There was new fans that formed from it. All the old fans saw it as a redemption for the series, like it was something that made up for how bad they believed the prequels to be. So now, am I saying that Pokemon is going to have an equal amount of success now that Disney controls it? Not really. I don't believe it's going to be that successful. And honestly, I'm not sure if Disney has much say in how this is going. Because based on the preview that we heard, we got to hear some of the dub voices, and it's pretty clear that Ash is still voiced by Sarah Natachini, so it's likely that TPCI is still doing the actual dubbing, and Disney is more so just airing it. So it's not exactly clear how much Disney is able to meddle with the whole process, but if they're able to do anything at all, I'd say they wouldn't be really doing anything bad, like directly affecting the dub. However, even if Disney has no direct involvement in how the dub is actually made, I think that Disney is probably going to treat this better than Cartoon Network. Because, I mean, let's think about this. I remember when Pokemon first came out on Cartoon Network, back in around 2002, I believe is what it was. and they started airing new episodes. It seemed like every day. Now, back then, I understand they were able to do that because when Pokemon started airing on Cartoon Network, the dub was actually in the middle of like Johto, so Cartoon Network had a bunch of episodes they could air on the like down the pipeline, so they could just air all those episodes at once so they can catch up. It wasn't a hard thing to do. But I mean, even as they caught up with episodes, I still remember them airing reruns pretty often. Nowadays, as far as Pokemon XYZ goes, they air a new episode on Saturdays at 7 in the morning. And then I believe they maybe rerun that episode again on the Sunday after at 7 a.m. And that's all the Pokemon that you see on their schedule. And I think that's pretty pathetic. Like, not a lot of kids are going to be up at 7 in the morning on Saturday. Like, even if it is Saturday, that's still pretty early. And just straight up not ever rerunning it but one other time the next day. Like, who's going to watch that? That's just a dead time zone. So I think Disney is going to treat a little bit better. And to try to back this up, it's worth noting that Disney XD also airs Yokai Watch in the US. So I looked into a little bit how Disney handles Yokai Watch to see if it's any better. And I can't find an exact like time that they air it. It seems like they've kind of switched it around, and with Thanksgiving coming up, the schedules are all kind of mixed up on all the networks. But from what I've seen, this time slots seem a little bit better on Disney XD for Yokai Watch, and they actually rerun it some, like more than once at 7 in the morning. So I think Pokemon would have a much better chance of being seen on there. So another possible thing that might make this a good thing is that like maybe some kids don't watch Cartoon Network as much. Maybe they watch Disney XD more. Like I said, I wasn't much of a Kids WB kid. I also wasn't much of a Disney Channel kid growing up. So some kids just have networks that they stick to. So Disney XD, with the start of this whole new Pokemon series and with it being a completely different like atmosphere than it has been, especially with XY, this could be an introduction to a whole new audience of kids. And it's possible that the anime might have some sort of revival. I don't know. It's possible. Now, the only possible disadvantage I could see as it changing networks is one, all the kids that might watch it on Cartoon Network may not be aware of it, and they just think Pokemon disappears. Like, oh no, what the heck's happened? And also another thing is Disney XD is not as common of a network for households as Cartoon Network is. Like, for example, my grandparents don't have Disney XD. My college apartment actually does not have Disney XD, so I will not be able to watch Pokemon in dubbed anymore. But, oh well, whatever. But, so, I mean, that's fine. Oh, one more thing I should mention is that Cartoon Network, the theme songs on their channel, they're uncharacteristically short. They want to make as much room for ads as they possibly can. The dub themes have been kind of lackluster for XY, especially because of that reason. Disney seems to let shows have a little more time to flesh out their songs a little bit more. So I believe that might be another thing that Sun and Moon might have an advantage for airing on Disney XD instead. But yeah, overall, I think that's about all I wanted to say on the whole thing. So I think this is going to be a good thing. Like, worst case scenario, I think not much will change. I don't think this is going to be a bad thing at the very least. It's either going to be a good thing or it's just going to be a thing. Like, that's all it is. So yeah, that's about it. So if any of you all have some thoughts regarding the move of the Pokemon dub from Cartoon Network to Disney XD in the United States, then feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, feel free to leave a like on the video and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one. Hopefully the review of the first and second episodes of Sun and Moon will be out pretty soon. I really want to get that out there. It'll be my first review and I want it to be as good as it possibly can. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you all for watching. I've been DJ Sock Puppet and I'll see you all another time. Later.